distributions, governance arrangements, quality of service, and measures necessary to ensure the long-term sustainability of the platform. Recognizing the complexity of the assignment, the committee adopted a consultative and evidence-based approach throughout its work. Over the course of its deliberations, the committee received extensive presentations and submissions from key stakeholder institutions, including the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation and KNET Limited. These engagements provided valuable information on the infrastructure supporting the DTT platform, operational expenditure, maintenance obligations, network performance, satellite services, energy requirements, and other cost drivers associated with nationwide digital television transmission. Attention was devoted to understanding the infrastructure contributions made by the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, including land, transmission towers, buildings, and related facilities supporting the national DTT network. The committee also examined the operational cost components presented by KNET to facilitate a more detailed assessment of the cost structure and support the development of an objective and evidence-based pricing framework. Beyond the financial and technical dimensions, the committee also considered broader governance issues. Deliberations focused on the institutional arrangements required to operationalize the proposed DTT management entity, the legal and policy considerations necessary to support its establishment, and the governance mechanisms needed to ensure transparency, accountability, and operational efficiency. The committee further considered issues affecting the quality and reliability of service delivery, including network downtime, maintenance response times, and the need for clear, defined service performance benchmarks. In addition, attention was given to challenges relating to the protection of DTT infrastructure, particularly encroachment on transmission sites and the need to safeguard these national assets. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, throughout the assignment, committee members demonstrated a shared commitment to constructive engagement and consensus building. While differing perspectives were expressed on certain technical and commercial issues, these discussions enriched the deliberative process and ultimately strengthened the committee's work. One of the committee's key achievements was the development and refinement of a sustainable cost-sharing framework through several iterations, informed by stakeholder feedback and extensive technical analysis. This process sought to strike an appropriate balance between ensuring the financial sustainability of the DTT platform and maintaining affordability for broadcasters, while recognizing government's continued commitment to supporting public interest broadcasting. Honorable Minister, the report being presented today represents a culmination of months of rigorous analysis, stakeholder consultations, and collaborative efforts. The committee is confident that the report provides a sound basis to support government in taking informed decisions on the future governance and sustainability of the DTT platform. Sincere appreciation is extended to every member of the committee for their professionalism, dedication, and commitment demonstrated throughout this assignment. Gratitude is also conveyed to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, KNET Limited, the National Communications Authority, the National Media Commission, the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, and all stakeholder institutions whose active participation and constructive contributions greatly enriched the committee's work. We sincerely also thank the Honorable Minister for giving us the opportunity to do this work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's clear from your remarks that this has been a genuinely collaborative exercise. Next, we have the Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, to give us his very short remarks. Thank you.
On behalf of the board and management of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, it is our pleasure and to acknowledge that thanks to your leadership, we are here today. The Ghana Broadcasting Corporation has waited 10 years for today's event, and so we are excited that the fact that we are here today, we are excited that this is the assurance that there's a way to provide a sustainable path in terms of maintaining the national DTT. It is important that we get to this moment of truth, acknowledge it, and find a way to deal with it. So we are very delighted to contribute to the process, and we are also delighted to be part of the signing ceremony. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, sir. Next is the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association President. Sorry. Mr. Al-Hassan, how would you?
Oh, you've combined You've combined our names, but he's my senior brother. You said that Abdullah Awudu. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister and Deputy Minister, all protocols duly observed. Today is an auspicious day. And for those of us who have been around this table, when I say it's an auspicious day, we understand why. You know, this journey has been shaped, Honorable Minister, by your vision and your leadership. When you put us together and called for the stakeholder meeting and set the tax for us as a committee, in developing even your terms of reference, it showed straight away that this was a leader who was looking for solutions. And I say this because, like my colleague from GBC says, we've been on this journey for about 10 years. And when the chairman was giving the speech, from March to July, we've been able to carve a pathway. Because right from the beginning, the Honorable Minister gave us a pathway, set milestones, and set a hard finish line for us. And that's what leadership does. Today, we are very happy, my members, my executive council, because we have started on a journey that will protect that infrastructure that holds the very foundation of our business. Because without a transmission infrastructure, our business is nothing. We are very grateful. We see that the role of the media is appreciated, and you want it to continue to do the good work it has been doing. Thank you, Honorable Minister. My chairman will give the rest of Gilbert's contribution when its time comes.
Thank you very much. Next, we have the Executive Secretary of the NMC, Mr. George Sapong. Okay, he's not. So we'll just skip. Okay, then. Okay, then. We'll just speak with Mr. Cecil Sunkamils.
Thank you. I'll do 2 rows for myself and George. Honorable Minister, all protocols observed. On behalf of the chairperson and the members of the National Media Commission and the 2 reps, which is me and myself, the Executive Secretary, we've represented on this special committee. And I want to thank you, Honorable Minister, for bringing that long road to this junction. We've been traveling far. It began with a straightforward concern from yourself, and it's just important to know that 5 months and 5 committee meetings after, we are here to hand over a report. And this has been out of a very collaborative work that we have done. It was not all that smooth all the time, but we somehow managed to get here, which is very meaningful, meaning that going forward, the standing committee, which will be also put out, will also be able to function. For the NMC, our major concern was also the interest of GBC, which we know is the national broadcaster, and they had their thing. This work we have done also has adequately covered a lot of the requirements for GBC, and also Giba has spoken for the private media, who are always at heart. And so, going ahead, we want to thank you for your vision, for your guidance, and for making this happen. We've waited for so long. We've had too many fights, and we are happy that we've gotten to this junction. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have the Director General of the NCA, Reverend Engineer Edmond Yuenchi-Frianko.
Okay. Honorable Minister, thank you. And everybody is happy that we are here, and even more the NCA, because yeah, we had been, for the last 10 years, we've had the responsibility of raising the funds on behalf of government. And even when the government allocated funds are depleted, we are obliged to go into NCA's own resources. And so we are very happy that we are here now with a way forward through the committee's work. Just to put on record that the DTT platform as we have it today is a monopoly. And by the requirements of the Electronic Communications Act, its tariffs have to be regulated. We are happy to have supported the committee's work with the modeling, financial modeling. We would be subjecting the eventual tariffs to regulatory approval as and when it comes up. Thank you very much. And this is a big, big step. 10 years late, but better late than never. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are honored to have the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Information and Communications, Honorable Dr. Abednego Bandim, with us, and he'll give us a few remarks.
Thank you, MC. Honorable Minister and Honorable Deputy Minister, may I observe the protocol already established and proceed. Everybody on the table is happy, and I'm also happy, because I'm happy that you're all happy. Because if you're not happy, I believe my doors would be knocked at to resolve some of the problems that will arise out of this. It is true that this has been a protracted issue on the heads of the ministry. And I'm serving my second term as an MP. In opposition in the 8th Parliament, these issues came to us. And, the Honorable Minister today was my deputy ranking, and we had to deal with this. So I know all of you on the table. And for me, because I have worked with the National Communications Authority before, from the inception of the DTT project, I am fully abreast with the issues. So that makes me extremely happy that you are happy. Let me thank the minister also for this initiative. I knew that he was the best person to deal with this issue because he has been involved with it. And as a deputy ranking, he's abreast with all the issues, have a very fair idea of how to go about it. So I'm not surprised that a committee was put together to resolve this issue. For us, as Parliamentary Select Committee, we are independent. We will be observing, we will be looking at you and watching how you all conduct yourselves. It's an agreement that you are going to be signing today, and we expect that you all follow through the agreement and resolve it to the successful end. Otherwise, when you start to, fight, as NMC said, that you have fought for a very long time, we will watch, but we will be looking at the public interest. And public interest, if we have to, in the end, recommend a legislation to resolve any problem, that is what we will do. So I hope that, since all of you are happy, we would resolve this amicably. GBC, they are also under the Select Committee, and they have come to complain to the committee about how they were left out in the agreement. I'm happy that the Director General spoke and said he's happy. So GBC, I hope that your interest is taken care of, and that we will not hear any other issues with DTT. On this note, I want to thank you, every one of you, for fully participating and having this report presented today. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. Amen.
Thank you very much, Honorable. The President of GIBA has requested that the Chairman of the GIBA Council of Elders also share a few remarks with us. So we invite Chief Crystal Jirako.
Honorable Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations, Honorable Deputy Minister, my dear brother, Honorable in charge of Parliamentary Select Committee of Parliament. They talk about the fight, and you were in the center of this fight when we visited Parliament many years ago. All protocols observed. I'm happy that my president decided that I should speak all the things that he wasn't going to say. We have come a long way to reach where we are today. And I'm personally inspired that leadership, and I'm talking of the Honorable Minister, has embraced dialogue, inclusiveness, and collaboration with stakeholders as the surest path towards securing a sustainable future for Ghana's national digital terrestrial television platform. This demonstrates that during national solutions, I take that again, this demonstrates that enduring national solutions are best achieved through consultation, consensus, and shared commitment to the public interest. And I'd like to congratulate the Honorable Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations on his exemplary, visionary, and statesman-like leadership. Your decision to convene a broad-based stakeholder committee and allow its members to deliberate independently, openly, and without ministerial interference demonstrate uncommon confidence in due process, accountability, participatory governance. And we are so glad about that. You encourage members to place patriotism, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to the national interest above institutional interest, and work collectively towards a sustainable future for Ghana's digital television platform, with the scope and terms of reference given to the committee to guide its work. You have reaffirmed that enduring national solutions which could be built through dialogue, integrity, and mutual respect. Our journey to this point has not been an easy one. Following Ghana's signing of the Geneva Agreement in 2006, the nation faced a defining choice, whether to depend primarily on internet-based or satellite broadcasting services platforms, which are largely beyond our sovereign control, or to invest in a national terrestrial television platform that we could own, manage, and rely upon by ourselves. History has shown that Ghana made the right decision. At a time when misinformation, disinformation, geographical influence, and external commercial interests increasingly shape the global information space, our national DTT platform stands a strategic national asset, enabling the state and broadcasters to communicate authentic, reliable, and universally accessible information through infrastructure owned by the Ghanaian people, the DTT platform. There was a time when many Ghanaians depended on foreign broadcasters such as BBC, etc., for breaking news in the 50s, the 60s, and in the 70s. Fortunately, we have trusted national institutions such as the GBC, the DG is here, and the Daily Graphic. And today, Ghana possesses its own national digital broadcasting infrastructure, strengthening our information sovereignty and reinforcing public confidence in credible journalism. I can comfortably say we took the right decision at the capacity building workshop organized on the 29th and 30th of June 2010 at the Ghana Indian Kofi Annan Center for Excellence in ICT, Accra, to build for ourselves this national DTT platform that the nation can communicate with her people with the flow of reliable information. Honorable Minister, this national asset deserves our collective protection. I therefore encourage all broadcasters and media practitioners to continue exercising their constitutional watchdog role and professionalism, responsibility, and integrity, ensuring that trusted journalism remains the benchmark amid the growing tide of misinformation on digital and social media platforms. Broadcasting performs an essential public interest function and the committee adopted a public interest subsidized pricing model, appropriately recognizing that reality, while supporting the long-term sustainability of Ghana's DTT infrastructure. As we move forward, it is our hope that the government and industry will continue working together to develop transparent, fair, and affordable DTT pricing policies that promote media plurality, universal access, and the continued growth of Ghana's broadcasting ecosystem. Once again, congratulations to you, Honorable St. George. May your example continue to inspire excellence in public service and nation building. And I end with the lyrics of the great patriotic song composed by the legendary composer, Dr. Ephraim Koku Amu, from Peki in the Volta region. Yes, from Peki in the Volta region. Let's remind ourselves every day of our crucial roles as responsible media watchdogs and trust ourselves to be called as one in our service to our motherland. You know that song? You don't know the song? Every day you should meditate on that song. We won't sing all. Everybody knows it in their various language. Long live responsible media in Ghana. Long live the Ghana DTT infrastructure platform. Long live GIBA. And may God bless Ghana, our homeland. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief. We've heard reflections from the key institutions represented in this all-important national exercise. We now go to the policy perspective. It's my honor to invite the Honorable Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations, Honorable Samuel Nate George, to give us his remarks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Honorable Deputy Minister, the Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Information and Communications, the Chief Director of the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Directors of the Ministry, Heads of agencies present here, the Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the Director General of the NCA, Executive Secretary of the NMC, represented by Mr. Cecil Sunkwa Mills, the President of GIBA, the President of the Ghana Journalists Association, President of the New Media Association. Sounds like a UN meeting, so many presidents. Representatives of KNET, representatives of all broadcasters, members of the DTT committee, our friends in the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. Let me take this opportunity first and foremost to thank you for accepting our invitation to this afternoon's event. Today's ceremony marks an important milestone in our collective efforts to ensure the long-term sustainability, efficiency, and effective governance of Ghana's digital terrestrial television platform. It also demonstrates what can be achieved when government and industry stakeholders engage in open, transparent dialogue with a mutual respect and a shared commitment to finding practical solutions to our national challenges. We have come a very long way. This clearly demonstrates the reset agenda of His Excellency President Mahama's commitment to resolving major challenges within the communication sector. This is a real use case worth emulating. The successful migration from analog to digital television broadcasting represented a significant achievement in Ghana's digital transformation journey. Beyond fulfilling an international obligation, it laid the foundation for more efficient spectrum utilization, expanded access to quality broadcasting services, and enhanced opportunities for innovation within the broadcasting sector. However,
the long-term success of any national digital infrastructure depends on its establishment and on the effectiveness of the systems put in place to sustain, govern, and continuously improve it. Over the years, concerns have emerged regarding the operational sustainability of the DTT platform. Issues relating to operational financing, infrastructure management, governance arrangements, institutional responsibilities, and the platform's long-term viability were raised by key stakeholders in the broadcasting industry. It became increasingly evident that these matters required candid and careful attention if the platform was to continue serving broadcasters and the Ghanaian public effectively. Recognizing the strategic importance of the DTT platform as a critical national digital infrastructure, the Ministry initiated a series of engagements with stakeholders to better understand the challenges confronting the platform and to identify practical pathways towards sustainable solutions. And as has been heard around this table already, we've gone full circle, from complaints to the Parliamentary Select Committee, to courts, to meetings where we were walked out of. I mean, the whole spectrum of emotions have been felt, to optimism, and to where we are today. I called the first broadcaster stakeholder meeting on 24 February 2026, barely 5 months ago, to provide an opportunity for broadcasters and other stakeholders to openly discuss the operational and financial challenges that affect the platform and to reaffirm their collective commitments to preserving this important national asset. Building on those discussions, it became evidently clear that the matters under consideration extended well beyond just determining the channel fees. They involved broader questions regarding the ownership of the infrastructure, the governance arrangements around the infrastructure, institutional responsibilities, what was the quality of the service of the broadcast itself, and the development of a sustainable financing framework for the platform. It was against this backdrop that the Ministry established the Digital Terrestrial Television Committee to undertake a comprehensive review of all of these matters and provide the government with an objective, practical, and evidence-based recommendation to guide future policy decisions. The committee members were carefully selected to ensure ownership and one voice built on a consensus for effective implementation. I want to believe that with the submission of this report today, the court case, Egbele, court case, Yamutu. It is against this backdrop that the committee subsequently held several meetings to deliberate and deliver on the mandate as spelled out in the terms of reference. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, from the outset, when I informed His Excellency that we were setting up this committee, he defined it for me and said that this will not be a routine assignment. The committee was therefore tasked with examining complex technical, financial, operational, and institutional issues that required careful analysis and extensive stakeholder engagement. Let me be quick to say that I've enjoyed all the funds that have been given. But the funds are really not mine. They belong to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has sat in this chair and has guided my hand along this path with every single minute detail of how this should be executed. And so to His Excellency, we say thank you. As the committee progressed with its work, it became necessary to review detailed technical and financial submissions, validate information received from stakeholders, and accommodate further consultation to ensure that different perspectives were adequately considered. Consequently, an emergency meeting was held on Thursday, 14th March 2026 to assess the progress and determine the way forward. In recognition of this assignment, the Ministry approved an extension of the committee's timelines, which were supposed to be end of June, to ensure that the committee was afforded sufficient time to complete a thorough and credible piece of work capable of supporting informed decision-making. One of the most encouraging outcomes of this process has been the spirit of collaboration demonstrated by all stakeholders, and I think you all deserve a round of applause. Staff from the ministry, regulators, public broadcasters, private broadcasters, and technical partners have each brought unique perspectives to the table. I've gotten complaints from every single one of them along the line. Everybody had a problem with the process, but we trusted the process, and here we are today. Ebenezer, thus far, the Lord has brought us. This collaborative approach reflects the maturity of our broadcasting sector and demonstrates that lasting solutions are best achieved through partnership, transparency, and mutual respect. Allow me, therefore, to express the ministry's sincere appreciation to the chairperson of the committee and every member of the committee for the dedication, professionalism, and diligence demonstrated throughout this assignment. Let me pause to say that wherever our departed sister, Gloria, is, her heart will be gladdened by this achievement. The ministry also extends its gratitude to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, KNET Limited, the National Communications Authority, the National Media Commission, the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, and all stakeholder institutions whose active participation and technical contributions have enriched the committee's work. The report being presented today represents an important milestone. It marks the beginning of the next phase of the government's efforts to strengthen the governance and sustainability of our DTT platform. The ministry will carefully study the committee's findings and recommendations and engage the relevant stakeholders as appropriate before taking decisions on the implementation of the proposed measures. You can be rest assured, even before the ministry takes concrete policy decision, I'll issue a white paper that will be shared with all members of the DTT committee for us to have consensus going forward. The objective will be to establish a governance and operational framework that will be transparent, equitable, financially sustainable, and capable of supporting continued investment and innovation within Ghana's broadcasting sector. Ultimately, the success of the DTT platform must be measured by its technical performance and its ability to provide reliable broadcasting services, to promote our media pluralism, and to support local content development. Support local content development, and ensure that all Ghanaians continue to benefit from accessible, high-quality, free-to-air television services. Once again, my thanks goes to the Director General of the GBC. Prof, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And this one is not a political pipeline. Political pipeline, you never see the end of it. This one, there's light. You see the light. To KNET, our technical partners, and to Giba for all your support and for the live telecast of this as a sign of your goodwill and support for the intent to develop the cost-sharing model that we have built for the DTT platform. Your dedication, expertise, and collaborative spirit demonstrated throughout this process have provided the government with a strong foundation on which to make informed policy decisions. It is therefore my honor, on behalf of the government of Ghana, to formally receive the final report of the DTT committee. The government looks forward to working with all the stakeholders to advance the next phase of this important national endeavor. Now, I can go back and report to my boss and say, boss, yet another one achieved. Promise made, promise kept. To all our stakeholders, be rest assured, we will continue to fix all the challenges that we inherited in this sector one by one, with God being our helper. Permit me once again to congratulate the chairperson, our Director of Innovations at the Ministry, and members of the committee for successfully completing what looked like an impossible assignment in record time. What took 10 years to fix, you achieved in 5 months. This is your victory. I thank you, and may God continue to bless and prosper this beautiful land that we call our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Promise made, promise kept. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We now come to the signing of the document. All those who are supposed to be signing, please.
Signed. So I've signed this. Since there are quite a number of copies, maybe let's find one that everybody signs and we can complete, so that we do that symbolically. Else we'll spend the next 10 minutes signing. There's quite a number of copies of it. So let's have one that has been signed. Maybe there's one that is being signed from the end there from KNET. I see KNET signing one. So if they sign, it comes through from that end. By the time it gets here, everybody would have signed, and then we just use that one to do the final implementation. You can be signing the other ones, I mean, but the one that's coming from then, they will have everybody's signature. Yeah. Eventually, I have to sign it anyway. This has been signed. I think that one is coming from down there. Does this one have everybody's signature? Can Bernard sign this one? This is outstanding, only Bernard's signature, then we can use this. Yeah. Because that has everybody's signature apart from Bernard. Yeah, so that's the one Bernard is signing. Once that comes, I'll sign it and then... Okay, so this is fully signed.
This is fully signed.
Yes, so whoever's going to present. I think it should be joined by the chairman of the council. Yeah. GBC DG Just, so you can balance the white here. Yeah. I think one person from KNF should join. And then NCA. DG. Yeah. DG. So we've got GIBA. Yeah. We've got NMC. We've got KNF. We've got GBC. Yeah. And then NCA. So yeah. Yeah. I bet can join. Yeah. Parliament can just join. So at least we have almost everybody represented in the program.
So on behalf of the committee, we want to present our request.
Oh, I thought you would clap for the committee. So as indicated, we would study and issue a white paper on it, a policy position on it, on all the recommendations in there, and then that will form the basis of our work going forward. Thank you very much. We'll make this available. Our position paper will be ready in 14 days, so that we can immediately switch into operations. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our committee one more time.
You don't want to hear what he said. He said, now if I walk them out of the room, crowd, they don't care. You should have said that 30 minutes ago. Are we done?
So on behalf of the Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, thank you for being a part of this important occasion. The work presented here demonstrates what can be achieved when institutions collaborate in pursuit of the national interest. We wish everyone a good rest of the day, and would also invite our media colleagues and stakeholders to hang around for post-event interviews. Thank you all, and have a pleasant evening.
Prayer. You pray to start. DG, are you a Muslim in good standing? Then do the closing prayer for us. Fantastic. Then I wanted someone who God will listen to the prayer. So.
Thank you very much. We have gathered here to do a very important national event, and we call on Allah with thanks and gratitude for giving us the ability to produce this document and for granting the minister the wisdom to guide us on this path. And we want to call on Allah and thank Allah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Am I supposed to stay for any interview or that's it? Who is it? Yes. Okay. All right. So, thank you so much.
Media interviews, please. Yes.
Ghana Revenue Authority seals off Electrochem Ghana's administrative block over 8.6 million cedis historical tax debt. Good evening, this is Bizbrief on TV3. I am Menu Afo. Before we take our first story, let's look at what's happening on the forex and commodities markets. Now, we've seen that the dollar is selling at 11 cedis 44 pesos, buying at 11 cedis 43 pesos. The pound is selling at 15 cedis 29 pesos, buying at 15 cedis 27 pesos. The euro is selling at 13 cedis 4 pesos and buying at 13 cedis 3 pesos. Now we'll move to the global commodities market, and we've seen that gold and cocoa have gone up in their prices, while crude oil has gone down by 1.47%. Gold is up by 1.25%, and cocoa is up by 5.92%. Essentially, we are going to earn more from the export of gold and cocoa and lesser from that of crude oil. Let's now take a look at what's happening around the world in 60 seconds. Thank you for staying with us. Now to the big one. The Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has clamped down on Electrochem Ghana Limited, completely sealing off the company's administrative block due to an outstanding tax debt totaling 8.6 million cedis accrued since 2021. According to GRA officials, the enforcement action follows a series of statutory warnings, including an immediate demand notice served on January 7 and a final demand notice issued on February 13.
The authority initially intended to shut down the entire compound by sealing the main gate. The concession was made to avoid disrupting local workers and ongoing field operations. Following an on-site engagement regarding the company's challenges, which management noted included recent flooding on their operational ponds, Electrochem made an immediate partial payment of 200,000 cedis. Assistant Commissioner of Enforcement at Accra Central Area Office, Joseph Annan, explains.
Immediately, they are paying 200,000, which is woefully inadequate. But like I always say, a bird in hand is more than a nine in the bush. So we are taking it. But then we'll still seal off the administrative block. And then we are giving them 7 days to do the needful, or come to the head office and have some engagement with our big men. Beyond that, we'll come back and seal off the main gate so that there wouldn't be any access at all to any of them, including even their customers. We are always friendly to taxpayers, but then we keep our eyes on the ball.
The GRA has issued a stern warning to taxpayers who declare their liabilities online but fail to remit the required funds to the state.
They declare so much just to avoid paying per penalty, but they don't pay. And you go, they will tell you liquidity challenges. Please, when you declare, pay. Because we have already started. We have been visiting some of them. And some immediately pay, not all, but something substantial, and then they come into some agreement with us. Now, when we come, you don't come and pay, and we come, we'll be forced to apply the interest.
To avoid public enforcement actions, taxpayers are strongly advised to proactively engage the GRA and honor their financial obligations.
Away from that, Ghana has officially ended its exclusive wholesale 5G infrastructure model in a sweeping policy shift aimed at rescuing the country from stagnant network deployment. The decision to revoke the exclusive concession previously held by state-backed NextGen Infraco follows a collapse of confidence driven by poor rollout numbers.
The single provider module managed to deliver only a fraction of its infrastructure targets, forcing regulators to pivot toward an open competitive auction process. This upcoming spectrum auction will determine market power in the digital economy for the next decade. Because 5G technology will heavily influence everything, from fintech expansion and artificial intelligence adoption to telemedicine and cloud services, the stakes extend far beyond basic telecom profits. However, industry experts warn that the replacement framework must be structured with extreme care. While a competitive process can accelerate deployment and attract crucial investment, a poorly designed auction could simply reinforce existing market dominance or leave consumers facing high cost and limited choice. Policymakers face the critical task of balancing long-term digital competitiveness against the temptation of short-term government revenue maximization.
While overall fraud across Ghana's specialized deposit-taking institutions dropped sharply by 47% in 2025, rural and community banks remain dangerously exposed to persistent cash suppression schemes. According to the Bank of Ghana's 2025 fraud report, total sector incidents fell from over 300 to under 200 cases, signaling a positive shift in regulatory oversight.
Despite this broad improvement, cash suppression, where staff pocket deposits without logging them into the system, remains the dominant threat to grassroots banking. Alarmingly, rural and community banks accounted for over half of all recorded cash theft cases and shouldered a staggering 90% of the financial exposure, which reached nearly 2 million cedis. This high concentration threatens financial inclusion as these institutions serve as a primary formal financial gateway for farmers, traders and small businesses who rely heavily on fiscal transactions and personal trust. Industry analysts warned that boards must treat this as a systemic governance failure rather than isolated staff misconduct. To protect public confidence, the central bank recommends immediate reforms, including independent daily reconciliations, mandatory staff rotations, and stricter prosecution of offending officers.
As part of its measures to increase basic financial knowledge among the populace, the Bank of Ghana has begun a financial literacy campaign at senior high schools, with the first destination being Archbishop Potter Girls Senior High School in Takoradi. The engagement was an immersive money management session designed to demystify the financial system. Irama Smith has the details.
10 schools in the Western region are set to undergo a financial literacy program by the Bank of Ghana centered on banking services, consumer rights, and responsibilities. Students from Archbishop Potter Girls Senior High School received a comprehensive crash course covering everything from identifying counterfeit currency to understanding the central bank's critical role in regulating financial institutions and ensuring monetary stability. Beyond these macro-level concepts, facilitators zeroed in on practical everyday skills, securing personal banking details, borrowing responsibly to avoid debt traps. The engagement was dynamic, with students posing questions and filling their notebooks with insights.
And what intrigued me the most is how to cater for our Ghanaian cedi. So today, I learned that there are special features on the Ghanaian cedi that makes blind people to be able to recognize the currency they are using by feeling it, making them very inclusive and teaching us how to care for our currency, such as not folding it, not using it for money bouquets and other stuff, which was very educational.
I have learned that I am not to share my PIN code or anything concerning my logins to anyone.
I can attest to the fact that today's program was a very impactful one, and I believe it's going to have a very significant impact in my life.
Godfrey Kujo is head of the Credit Reporting Unit and Financial Stability Department at the Bank of Ghana.
So the bank, in its wisdom, decided that we should engage senior secondary schools students and then give them this kind of education so that once they understand this, they will be very financial or independent. They will be able to also inform their parents when they also want to make financial decisions.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Takoradi.
And that's it for Bizbrief today on TV3. I am Menu Afu. We have more news updates coming your way. Christabel Success Trevor is on standby with the details.
We're bringing you those details very shortly. My name is Christabel Success Treve. The Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta-Kando, says the Wager Children's Specialist Hospital has not yet been completed or officially handed over to the ministry, delaying its full operationalization. He explained to Parliament that because the contractor is yet to hand over the facility, the ministry has been unable to obtain access codes for some of the installed equipment, making it impossible to begin full operations.
We have on standby the full complement of staff for the facility, number one. Mr. Speaker, we have invited the contractor on several occasions. In some instances, he sent his representative. The last meeting will take place on the 10th of this month. Today is on the 8th. So on the 10th of this month, the contractor is not in the country at the moment. We have invited him, and on the 10th was his request that he will be available personally for us to conclude on the matters. So, Mr. Speaker, let me put it on record that it's not as though the facility has been fully completed. There are no issues, and government deliberately do not want to commission. Mr. Speaker, as we sent people from the Ghana Health Service to the facility, there are equipment that have not been installed, and there are others that have been installed, but we don't have complete access, and the project has not been handed over to the ministry. So we are engaging with the contractor to resolve the issues so that the project will be fully handed over to the ministry for its operationalization. So, Mr. Speaker, once again, I put it on record that the project has not been fully completed, one. Two, the project has not been handed over to the ministry for its operationalization. Mr. Speaker, I can assure you that if the project is handed over this morning, in the next 24 hours, we don't even need to do any fanfare. We will commission the project because we have a full complement of staffing for that particular facility. When we sent the Ghana Health Service staff to the facility, there are equipment that has not been installed. And those that have been installed, they do not have access to the codes of the equipment because the contractor has not handed over to the ministry. And so, Mr. Speaker, we are dealing with that issue, but I just wanted to put on record that the perception out there that the project has been completed and handed over to the ministry and we do not want to commission is not the case.
The Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Gavin-Zabuja, has expressed disappointment with the progress of work on the 53-kilometer Hawwe stretch of the Eastern Corridor Road. The minister, while on an inspection tour Wednesday morning, threatened to terminate the contract if the contractor fails to bring work to a minimum 20% completion in 2 months.
A few weeks ago, we talked about the progress of work on the Hawwe stretch of the Eastern Corridor Road and how residents are agitated about the progress of work. This morning, things are getting a bit intense. The road minister himself is here on the top of the ongoing road project in the border and the region. Residents in Hawwe are urging the minister to terminate the contract given to Greenhouse Construction Limited, who have been on this road for more than a decade. Residents here believe that the construction firm has been lackadaisical and slow on the road.
That's how we wrap up this edition of News in Brief on TV3. Please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Christabel Success Treve. Thanks for watching.
Ready for school? Yes! My champs, they use a lot of energy at school. I know because imagine the energy they may have used up to return home this transformed every day.
Your champs need nourishment and energy. Give them the Milo Energy at breakfast, now with vitamin D that supports energy release to help their daily performance. Milo Energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
In the heartbeat of Ghana, where culture and unique identity lived boldly through us.
For 20 years, Ghana's most beautiful has celebrated the beauty and soul of our nation. And this year, I pass on the crown to the 20th queen.
Who wears the 20th anniversary crown? Are you that bold, beautiful, graceful, and proud Ghanaian lady to win the all-new 20th anniversary crown? 200,000 Ghana cedis cash, brand new car, and all-expense-paid trip abroad, a scholarship for a master's program, participate in an international event, a Zodorio deal, a set of gold jewelry, and many more. Join the audition journey. Masi on 8th July at Micklin Hotel. Takrady on 10th July at the Western